Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 138 Crunch Time with the N326 duo. I am your host, Sam Gotzi, and with me, as always, is Tanner Dizon. Tanner, it's been a minute. How are you doing?
Yeah, man, it has been a minute. The Olympics have wrapped up. A lot of things has happened. Of course, day by day, we're inching closer to football season. We're inching closer to an episode every week season, which is definitely we're looking forward to that for sure. But I got to be honest, Sam. Over the past couple days, I've been beaten down. I've been beaten down a lot. We'll get into that for sure later in the episode. But other than that, I'm doing well.
Yeah, it's been a couple of tough days for you, Tanner. Of course, we're going to dive into that. We're going to talk about a lot this episode. We're going to kick it off as we always do. Winners, losers, do a little bit of a Olympic recap. Talk about the highs and the lows of the Olympics and dive into NFL preseason a little bit. And then we're going to wrap up with Give Me Five of Smells. So that'll be super interesting. And then, of course, one question from a listener. But let's hop right into it, Tanner. Who is your winner of the episode?
Yeah, Sam, I have kind of two winners here. There are two baseball teams right now that seem to not be able to lose, and I'd be lying if I said this didn't play into my current misery in the sports world. But those two teams that are absolutely red hot are the Arizona Diamondbacks and the San Diego Padres. Two teams in the NL West right now. As it currently stands, both teams are 69 and 53. Both teams are 9-1 in their last 10. And the Diamondbacks are 20-5 since the All-Star break. Let's put it this way. The Dodgers right now are tied for the best record in baseball, and their lead in the division has been cut to 3 games because of how hot the Padres and the Diamondbacks were. Not too long ago, the Mets actually beat the Braves in New York. That gave them the number 1 wild card spot. Since then, the Padres and the Diamondbacks have gone on this tear, and currently, now the Mets have fallen off because they have not been playing good baseball recently. They're currently the first team out of the wild card. The Braves currently hold that 3rd wild card spot. They are 4.5 games behind both of those teams, and the Mets are now 6.5 games behind both those teams. So it flipped on a dime. On an absolute dime. I think it was 2 weeks ago when the Mets were playing the Braves, beat them and took over the number 1 spot. And since then, the Diamondbacks and the Padres have been insane. 9-1 in their last 10. Both have comfortable leads in the wild card, and both are only 3 games behind the team with the best record in baseball in their division. They've been absolutely red hot.
Yeah, sounds like it. For my winner, there's been a lot of potential winners these past couple weeks. I mean, the Pitbull and Florida International collab it's something else.
I was mid-drink when you said that. I was not expecting it. I lost some water, but
yeah, that's a whole crazy situation we could probably spend a whole episode about. But I had to honor one of the highlight tape goats.
Yes,
Tavon Austin has officially retired from the NFL. Was an absolute animal in college at West Virginia with Geno Smith back in the day.
True duo.
Unbelievable college. Didn't really pan out in the NFL, but he
Cowboys
has
legend, right?
No, that's
the Cowboys.
Miles Austin.
That was Miles Austin. I guess he did technically play for the Cowboys, but I think I was thinking of Miles Austin. I do remember on the Rams for sure.
Yeah,
Tavon Austin, but
he has officially hung it up. So gotta shout out the GOAT of highlight tapes for sure.
Every single guy on planet Earth has seen that highlight tape. Every single football fan on planet Earth has seen that highlight tape. As good as it gets. A true GOAT.
Yeah, absolutely. Now let's flip it over. Who's your loser?
Yeah, Sam. We're gonna we're gonna hit the kind of the overarching theme to my current state, specifically looking at the football field. But My loser, Sam, is going to be injuries because the injury bug has been going around. Now, obviously, the Vikings have been hit with it pretty hard. We'll get more into that later. But also, I mean, on this podcast 2 weeks ago, we sat here, we talked about how good of a trade Jazz Chisholm has been for the Yankees, how Brandon called that on this podcast, how he was red hot in his first couple games. Well, he now has a UCL injury taken out of the game last night. And the remainder of his season is in question and it's looking like he might not play again this at least this regular season. Obviously, he comes back for the playoffs. That would be great for the Yankees, but yeah, the remainder of his season is seriously in question, and that got me thinking. And I saw this on X, and the New York Yankees. Obviously, I'm not a fan of the Yankees. I don't mean to just rub this in Yankees fans' face. Yeah, I do. But the Yankees trade deadline the past couple years. This year they traded for Jazz Chisholm. Of course, he has that UCL injury. A couple years ago, they traded for Harrison Bader, the center fielder from the Cardinals. In 190 games played by the New York Yankees with Harrison Bader on the roster, he only played in 100. So a little over half. They got Lou Trevino and it was Lou Trevino and Scott Effross, two relievers that were supposed to be big time for the Yankees. Neither of them have pitched since 2022. Andrew Benintendi, they traded for, I believe, 2 years ago at the deadline, I think. And he got hurt in September, missed all September, missed the playoffs, only played like a month with the Yankees. And then a couple years ago, they traded for Frankie Montas from the A's, and he was hurt all of 2023. And the main reason they went out and got Frankie Montas was he had 2 years of control, hurt all of 2023, didn't play. That's brutal. That's a brutal stretch for the Yankees in their trade deadline acquisitions. Also in there, I mean, not injury related, you can throw in Joey Gallo, who did not work out and was kind of booed out of town. Their current state of the reliever they traded for just this year got DFA'd today. And I think their other one has like a +6 or over 6 ERA with the Yankees. So it's been a rough stretch for the Yankees at the deadline. And you hate to see it.
Yeah, I'm sure you hate to see that, Tanner. For my loser, could have gone a couple ways here. George Mason, men's basketball. Have you heard about this? They've gotten scammed. They were supposed to play a Bahamas preseason, like a season tournament, and turns out it was completely. They got there and there was no rooms, nothing.
Firefest.
Yeah, a little Firefest for sure. But there's a fire going on in the QB room of our favorite team, the Iowa Hawkeyes. Gotta talk about it because football is right around the corner. Turns out Iowa's probably gonna have just as bad offense this year after Cade McNamara in a scrimmage went 7 for 21, 20 yards, 1 sack, 1 interception that turned into pick 6, and 1 fumbled snap. Stud.
7 for 21 for 20 yards is diabolical. It's scary. It's getting a little scary. I was kind of a Cade McNamara defender. Obviously, he looked terrible in the game against Penn State, where we scored 0. Of course, because it was a ranked opponent. But in the other games, I thought he looked okay. I mean, he at least looked like a Division I quarterback. We talked about this all the time. The current quarterback room of Iowa is drastically better this year because of the depth and how everyone looks like is a Division I quarterback. We may have jumped the gun. Because it's looking bad right now. It's looking bad.
Yeah, not great at all.
It's to the point where, like, I know last year, I mean, the minute Cade McNamara transferred in, Kirk was like, Cade McNamara's our quarterback. Cade McNamara's our quarterback. He hasn't said that this year. I believe Iowa is one of the few teams without a named starter in the depth chart.
Yeah,
it's. I think that's the case. Whereas maybe one of 2. I think I got a notification about it. But yeah,
Yeah, not great. And as bad as that stat line was, what Kirk Ferentz said after might be even more concerning. He basically said, "Yeah, that was about an average day at practice for Cade." Now, could he have been lying a little, sugarcoating it a little bit, maybe, but yeah, not a good look for the Iowa Hawkeyes going in this season. Shout out Chris Hassel for getting those unofficial stats, but yeah, not great.
Not good at all.
But something we are pretty damn good at is the Olympics,
Yes,
Tanner.
USA.
US freaking A.
USA.
We walked away with 126 total medals, 40 gold, 44 silver, and 42 bronze. Some of the highlights, the 4x4 teams in track, both men and women won. Obviously, Simone Biles won. U.S. women's soccer, because God knows the men aren't going to get there. The 4x1 with women's, they won their 12th goal. Bobby Fink won 2 straight golds in swimming. With I'm pretty sure he had a goal world record in one of those. Women's 4x1 swimming medley relay world record gold. The women's basketball team won. Shocker there. But Tanner, let's talk about that men's game. Unbelievable. Steph Curry is that guy.
American
we knew
hero.
it. We knew he was that guy, but those threes down the stretch with about 2 minutes left, he was like, all right, Bron, KD, get the hell out of my way. I'm taking over. And boy, did he.
Yeah, I mean, KD had open shots that he was passing away to give to the hot hand in Steph Curry, the greatest shooter that ever lived. And holy smokes, was he unbelievable down the stretch. I mean, even throughout the entirety of the game, I think he had, 26? Was that right?
Yeah.
28? I can't remember.
26, 28, something around there.
It was, and then against Serbia, he had 34. So he was the ultimate closer for the U.S., and of course, down the stretch, he hit some of the craziest shots. I believe it was three or four threes within the final 3 minutes to really put it out of reach from the French. He was unbelievable. Of course, LeBron, the heart and soul of the team, was unbelievable. KD, anytime he needed a bucket, KD was KD. He hit an absolutely nasty pull-up jag against Serbia when we had to have it. Nothing the Serbian defender can do. And you know what? I'm going to say it. I just had a lot of fun watching this team play. Now, I can't say I watched every game. I watched the first game against Serbia. Then I kind of coasted through. Didn't really watch against Brazil or Puerto Rico when we were just pummeling people down. Then I watched the Serbia game, the comeback. Then, of course, the gold medal game against France. I think it's fair to say the world has caught up in basketball. Obviously,
100%.
We talk about the individual talent in the world right now, and I mean, a bunch of teams are catching up, and it makes watching the sport fun because Steph, LeBron, KD, you could tell they really cared.
Yeah.
And in years past, I remember, I believe it was honestly might have been 4 years, or I guess the 2020 games we played in, was it 21? When we played the 2020 games, I think it was 21. And we played a French team that was, I don't think they were as good as this France team, but they were the second best team in the world. And the U.S. obviously didn't have your LeBrons, your KDs, your Stephs, and it just wasn't as fun to watch. Like, I think it was a close game, and that should have made it. But this game was so much more fun to watch. They clearly cared. And if the U.S. isn't just completely beating people up anymore, and that the games are actually competitive, I might be in on Olympic basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. This game was electric. Obviously, Victor Wembanyama was stud. At only 19, looked as good as ever.
Yep. I gotta give 2 flowers to some French people. Obviously, you said Wemby. He was great in the gold medal match. And then,
come on,
Yabusele.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Great value, Ben Wallace.
Yes, he looked like Ben Wallace.
Yeah. Yeah, he probably played a way into NBA contract.
Gershon Yabusele.
Nailed it. Yeah, he put on. Rudy Gobert got cooked like every other game.
Rudy Gobert was bad.
Fournier didn't do much. Batum still is somehow playing at his age.
He didn't really do much either. Yeah. It was for France. It was Wemby and it was Yabu.
There you go. Yeah, it was fun. Dude, this might be a hot take, but I prefer the FIBA rules, man.
Dude,
I do.
I totally agree.
It's
I totally agree.
I would much because what was the final upper? I don't remember. It was 90s.
Obviously, the most talented offensive team was the U.S. They were consistently 90s.
90s.
When they played a competitive game, obviously against Brazil, they scored 100 plus.
Yeah,
those bad teams, but competitive games, they were in the 90s.
And there was actually defense being played. It was super fun to watch. I
also
obviously shorter games.
Shorter games. I loved the every single time someone who was more in tune with the rules, they like the offensive basket interference type of thing. They'd put it in, and then immediately everyone on the USA would do do the thing, and then they'd look. Oh crap, they can do that.
And dude, I don't understand why, because they don't have defensive 3 seconds in the paint in FIBA. If you're France, why are you not camping Wembanyama and Gobert?
The Eiffel Twin Towers,
dude.
And make them shoot over you. I don't know.
Make them beat you from 3. Obviously with the US it's a little different, but because we have
Steph.
2 of the best shooters of all time. But that they didn't do that. I was like, whatever. Yeah. Gold's a gold though. Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that whole situation? Look, obviously didn't get a lot of minutes. I think he played like a total of 6 minutes, I swear.
Yeah, he didn't play a ton. He did play in the gold medal game, but he didn't play a ton. It's hard because I do think his body language could have been better. But to Tatum's credit, I guess not necessarily credit, but he wasn't the one coming out saying
it was the fans and his mom.
It was Celtics fans and it was his mom.
Yeah.
And of course that falls on Tatum.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks. I do think he was frustrated, and I do think his body language could have been better. But I'm not reading too much into it, other than like we all know Celtics fans. We all know how they are, and then we all know, and obviously the mom chiming in, whatever. It's a mom. Mm-hmm. Of course, she's gonna have some pretty intense feelings, but it was just made that much better on the difference in handling it. When Tyrese Halliburton,
oh my God! Shout out Tyrese,
was fantastic.
You know we're an Iowa podcast, but God shout out the Cyclone there.
An Iowa State to a Pacer, it doesn't get much worse than for an Iowa Knicks fan. But that was awesome.
Yeah,
that was so funny.
If y'all don't know what we're talking about, Tyrese posted a picture after they won their gold and said. When he didn't do much on the group project, but still got that's just awesome.
It was hilarious. That's exactly how you handle that situation.
And back to the more playing of Tatum, I'm taking KD and LeBron over him every damn day.
Right.
And it's not like who you gonna take out of that starting 5 where you could, we could have done like a Steph, D-Book, Tatum, KD, and LeBron like death lineup, but that's just the way Anthony Davis was playing. Why would you not play him? Right. And then Embiid for like one game.
Right.
That was it.
Yeah. Embiid in that Serbia game. But the rest is what it is.
Yeah. It's just interesting.
We covered it. I think we covered it well last time. It's just that his best skill set are his scoring, right?
Yeah.
His best skill set, the U.S. just had players who do that better. Like Tatum is a very good basketball player. He's one of the best in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Steph, LeBron, KD are better scorers. Derek White is a better defender. They're just going to get that playing time.
Yeah.
And I think this kind of works perfectly into a name I wanted to bring up. You actually, the two people I wanted to bring up, you just said. And I'm glad you did because they were phenomenal down the stretch for the U.S.
Yeah.
Devin Booker and Anthony Davis.
Yeah, absolutely.
The two unsung heroes. Booker, throughout the entirety of the playoffs, the Olympics,
Yeah.
he was the kind of the anti-Tatum. I know he got way more playing time than Tatum, so maybe that's not fair. But he just completely said, "I don't care, I'll do it."
Yeah, he played his role.
You need someone to play defense? I'll do it. He was a spot-up shooter. He shot over 50% from three.
Yeah, it was like, oh, I've seen LeBron play. He loves kicking it to corners and threes. I'm pretty damn good at that. I'm going to do that.
And he did it. I mean, I guess maybe it was 50% from the field and 40% from three. He was very efficient.
Yeah.
And specifically in the gold medal game, I think he had 15 points in like 21 minutes.
Yeah.
6 for 10 from the field. Like, exactly what you needed from Devin Booker. And he was one of the unsung heroes. I think Steve Kerr mentioned it a few times, how big of an unsung hero he was. And then Anthony Davis. He's what Gobert and Wemby should have been. He was a brick freaking wall.
Unbelievable.
In the paint. He played so much better than Joel Embiid, except for that one Serbia game.
Yeah.
But he played so much better than Joel Embiid through the Olympics. He was exactly what the U.S. needed. Specifically in that gold medal game, man, defensively on the interior. How many offensive rebounds, putbacks did he get? He got like 5 or 6, like in the fourth quarter. It was crazy how good he was on the interior, defensively and on the boards. So those two guys, I'm glad you said them because they definitely all the love's going to go to Steph, rightfully so. All the love's going to go to LeBron, all that stuff. KD, those two guys, man. U.S. could not have done it without them.
Yeah, absolutely. Just some more names. Noah Lyles, he won the 100, and then he went out to 200 and was acting a fool before the race. Lost. Turns out he had COVID.
He had the wheelchair. That's hilarious.
The wheelchair. And then that night he was out celebrating.
Yeah.
So
COVID
behavior. Couple other names that were kind of notable this Olympics. Leon Marchand. He was a French swimmer. He won he went 4 for 4 in his events. So yeah, that's pretty freaking. Or he won. Yeah, so he's competed in his event 4 times, the 200 meter, and he won gold all 4 times, which is pretty freaking crazy. Broke a Olympic record. But then we got, of course, the cold-blooded shooter, Yusuf Dikit. I don't know how to say it. Dikec. Turkish. Yeah. He basically said, I don't need this fancy gear, and walked out with a gold medal. And then probably
before we move on, I got to give him a shout out. Obviously, all the gear, it was a great picture, but just what a great quote card. He was interviewed. I got to pull it up. I have it on my phone here. It's him doing like with his glasses with a finger gun. And the quote is, I did not need special equipment. I'm a natural shooter. I mean,
fire.
Just it doesn't get better than that for a quote card.
Fire, for sure. And then probably the biggest thing to come out of this Olympics was the introduction of breakdancing.
Oh.
And none other than Miss Ray Gunn. Her name was, her real name is Rachel Gunn. And she scored 0 points.
Dude, that was the worst thing I've ever seen.
It was bad.
Dude.
Turns out they're not having that again in 2028.
Yeah. So is it true that like the host nation gets to just like introduce a sport?
Yeah, I think so.
And this was Australia's?
I guess so.
Is that right? I mean, we all said it. How can you do breakdancing in the Olympics? It was so bad. I mean, granted, in fairness, I guess I don't know that because all I really did was see the clip of her doing whatever the hell she was doing. And maybe I'm not being fair because I'm sure there was someone who actually did it well.
There were some. It wasn't bad. The music was just it was like
like how can you?
It was bad.
Yeah,
it was bad. We don't gotta sugarcoat it. But there are like allegations that uh she basically manipulated the qualifier by setting up her own governing body, denying grants to underprivileged performers and allowing her husband to coach the national team.
I mean, if that's true, that's
I kind of hope it is.
I kind of hope it is too. Isn't she she's like a professor?
Yeah, she has her PhD.
And it's like in like body
PhD in cultural movement.
Cultural movement. So that combined with this shenanigans that went on where they just like, yeah, you're probably pretty good. You can go.
Yeah, right.
She did. Woo, she did.
No, it's electric. Oh, absolutely electric.
I'm really like, obviously, hopefully, she's not like really upset over her performance. Hopefully, we can laugh because I feel like that's one thing that's missing from the Olympics in general. It's just that the athletes nowadays are just so good. Mm-hmm. We need the people screwing up. Mm-hmm. We need the diver like 2-3 Olympics ago who just completely messes up and makes the biggest splash of all time. And it looks like you or I tried to go out there and do that dive. We need that because that puts it in perspective of just how good they are. So we need that. I'm glad we got that. So I'm glad. Bring messing up back again, dude. I need people messing up.
Yeah, for sure. It was hilarious. But any last thoughts on the Olympics as it is wrapped up?
One guy, I imagine he had a great Olympics because he's a guy. I guess I don't know his name, but he was the I think it was Swedish pole vaulter from like Louisiana or something.
Yeah.
How do we mess that? Went to LSU.
Mm-hmm.
How do we mess that up? And I think bro is pretty good. Do you happen to know his name off the top of your head?
I do not.
Swedish pole vaulter, and his name, yes, Armand Duplantis. The record-breaking
Louisiana. That sounds like a Louisiana name right there.
Armand Duplantis.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was born in Louisiana, Lafayette. Went to LSU. I guess his parents are from Sweden. It says he's Swedish American, and he competed for Sweden, and he was really freaking good.
He went crazy. But yeah, other than that,
I'm not going to pretend to get into I know anything about the pole vaulting events and how many golds or whatnot. Yeah. I'm sure he won a gold because I heard his name all over the place.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know he medaled for sure.
Duplantis gold. Let's see. Oh yeah, he's got a gold. How about that? Damn. 24 years old.
Dude, what great way to wrap up this Olympics recap, Tanner.
Duplantis, man.
Duplantis.
Shout him out.
Yeah, absolutely. But the Olympics have officially wrapped up for this year. It comes to is it the U.S. or is it North America?
I think it's the U.S.
The U.S.
I think it's L.A., isn't it?
Yep, you're
LA.
right. You're right.
And then the
World Cup is North America. That's right. We're introducing some new sports or reintroducing some new sports. We got lacrosse, baseball, softball, flag football, squash, whatever that is, and one other one I'm blanking on.
I think squash is like a racket game, like a tennis thing.
It is a racket game. I don't know what else. There is one more, but I'm blanking on it. So look it up. But let's move on, Tanner. NFL preseason has started, gotten underway, and boy, it's been a little rough for your Vikings here, Tanner.
I'll just start.
Kick us off.
Yeah. So, the Vikings had their first preseason game against the Raiders. And of course, all eyes will be on JJ McCarthy, who got off to a rough start. He threw a pick in his first series. But since then, he went on to play very good football. I believe he led 3 touchdown drives, 2 of which were touchdown passes. And I think both of them were over 30 yards. So he looked good. It's the first preseason game against second string, maybe even third string defenses. So it certainly wasn't enough to be like, oh my God, the Vikings got the best quarterback in the draft. But it was very, very encouraging to see, because when you're a Vikings fan, the Vikings haven't drafted first-round quarterbacks all that often. So when you watch rookie quarterbacks, it's people like Kellen Mond. It's like Jaron Hall, fifth, sixth rounders.
Mm-hmm.
And you watch them, and it just doesn't look like an NFL quarterback. It just doesn't look like an NFL quarterback. And JJ McCarthy looked like an NFL quarterback. The athleticism, the arm talent, all of that stuff was there, and it looked like he was on the right track. And the strides he had made, and all he had learned in just, a couple months since being drafted, it was noticeable, and it was very encouraging. And with two more preseason games, all the joint practices that come along with that, at the very least, he earned himself more first team reps, right?
Yeah.
Well, after all of that encouraging signs, it was announced he wasn't going to practice because of knee soreness, and then everyone's like, "Uh-oh, like what could that be?"
Mm-hmm.
Well, it turns out it was a torn meniscus. He had to get surgery, which he had today, and of course, with the meniscus, as has been said multiple times, there are two possible surgeries. Believe it or not, it was actually the same thing that happened to me. They could either go in and repair it, which obviously, when you repair it, you need to wait for the actual repair to heal. And that's a very lengthy process. Or they could go in and they could kind of shave it out and remove it, the torn part. But the recovery for that is just like the cuts on your leg. Like, it doesn't take very long for it to recover, just to get movement back. So it was a weeks versus months scenario. But of course, everyone's looking at that like, why not get the one for, if possible, you want the one where he's at weeks. Well, there's a much, much higher chance of re-injury. Guess who got it removed and got it re-injured? Me. I did that. But there's a much higher risk of re-injury if you get it removed, which I did. I re-injured it. But when you get it repaired, much, much better for the long run. So he did get it repaired, which, obviously it sucks, but I think obviously it's for the better. Just 21 years old. All decisions have to be for the long haul.
Yeah.
I think this was that. But in reality, it's not the biggest deal in the world because meniscus injuries happen all the time.
Yeah.
All the time in sports, and they're nowhere near as taxing on the body as like an ACL or an MCL, like any of that stuff. So his long-term future shouldn't be hindered in any way. It sucks that he has to miss out on reps.
Mm-hmm.
All the things I mentioned: first team reps, joint practices, a couple more preseason games. And what kind of sucks is for the season, like, obviously I kind of believe in Sam Darnold with the talent the Vikings have. I think he could at least make the season interesting for them. It won't be a completely gone season, I don't think. Obviously, these could be famous last words.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have that button you can push. Like, it always felt like if at any point the season gets off to a rough start, you can press that button, put in the rookie, and it feel like the season is like back on because it's all about the rookie now. It's all signs will be like, how is he playing? How's he playing? You'd lose that. You don't have that anymore, which sucks. He loses that on the reps. But so all of that to say, it was just a gut punch. It was just a gut punch. It really isn't that big of a deal, but it sucks. It sucks big time. What is a big deal is today, actually, on Wednesday, as we're recording, their sophomore star wide receiver, Jordan Addison, he had to be carted off the field because of a leg injury. Now, Kevin O'Connell did speak on it, and he said that it was an ankle injury, not a knee, thank goodness, and that the Vikings don't believe it to be serious, which is obviously good news. But that, fresh off the news of the McCarthy injury, and then obviously the secondary is absolutely decimated. I don't know what happened to Kyrie Jackson. And then a cornerback who was going to be a starter, who they signed in free agency, he hurt his hamstring. He's practiced the first day, hasn't practiced since. And then a sophomore cornerback, Mekhi Blackman, who they drafted a year ago, played a lot last year, was probably going to be another starter. He tore his ACL, so he's out for the season. So a very injury-plagued.
Not to mention TJ Hawkinson is also recovering from his injury last year. Yeah, it's been rough for the Vikings these past 3 days.
Yeah, and specifically about Hawkinson, there were some complications with swelling where he wasn't able to get his surgery until multiple weeks after the injury.
Yeah.
So I don't think he was on track to start the season anyway.
Yeah.
So now, obviously, that's going to hurt even more now
Yeah.
with all the injuries. Although I still do have hope that Addison will be able to play. But also we have possibly a looming suspension because of the the DUI he had. So maybe it wouldn't even matter. But if he's injured, does the suspended game is going to miss the first 2 games because of injury, then 3 because of suspension? I don't know. It's looking rough. And again, I said Darnold should be good enough to at least make things interesting. However, with the injuries, possible suspension, all of that stuff, the season could be on a fast track to a Tyrese Hunter next year.
Yeah, you think? Yeah, it's been an eventful couple days for the Vikings. Across the league, I mean, we saw the debut of Caleb Williams this past week. I'm already annoyed with the media coverage of him. He's getting comparisons to Mahomes for that one play.
Of course. I will say overall, if I'm a Bears fan, you have every right to be encouraged from that performance. Bears fans are a little annoying. Obviously, a division rival, maybe that's it. But it's more so with like the Packers fans because Bears and Packers obviously more of rivals than the Vikings with either of them. So, Packers known for having good quarterbacks. The Bears have the promising prospect.
Yeah.
Already the comparisons between them two has kind of been funny. But yeah, the Bears fans have been annoying.
Yeah.
But they might be able to be after, they're pretty tortured. So
yeah.
Well,
but he only played like 2 drives.
He
so like just overreactions across the board as we all do in the preseason. I mean, Drake May looked terrible.
We should maybe talk about, do we have a quarterback controversy in New England?
Yeah. Dude. Joe Milton.
Bazooka Joe, baby. Dude. Bazooka Joe.
If he could just get his accuracy down.
Sam, little known fact about Bazooka Joe. He threw an orange. I don't know if you've heard this. He threw an orange over 100 yards.
I mean, we saw Stetson Bennett throw like 4 interceptions against the Cowboys and still somehow win. Who else am I missing?
It was promising. Spencer Rattler.
Rattler, yeah. I actually saw an article. It could be completely BS, but supposedly the Vikings are interested in Derek Carr. And they, because of how well Spencer Rattler has been performing, I don't know how much you buy into that. Personally, I don't buy in a lot because is Derek Carr that much better than Sam Darnold? I would say no, but I understand why people would say otherwise. But Jane Daniels, another one.
How did we forget about Jane Daniels? My God.
That dime. Absolute dime.
It was a dime.
I mean, Michael Penix didn't look great. We kind of already talked about JJ McCarthy.
The good thing about Michael Penix is that he's got the next 8 years to get better.
Yeah, exactly. JJ McCarthy, you kind of already mentioned, was looking good. Unfortunately, had that injury. Bo Nix, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't hear anything about him.
I think,
but I heard Sean Payton does like how he's been playing. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think I didn't really watch either, but what I've heard from the temperature from Broncos fans in the NFL in general is that because I think the majority of the league wasn't necessarily in love with the pick.
Mm-hmm.
It felt like maybe it was a reach. I think he looked better than expected.
Yeah,
I think that's the general consensus. Borderline good, better than expected. So again, reason to be optimistic if you are a Broncos.
Yeah, absolutely. As for the Cowboys, nothing has changed. Other than CeeDee Lamb removed all his Cowboy stuff on his social media. So,
and should we talk about the tweet?
What tweet? I don't know if
he quote tweeted the NFL or the.
Oh yeah,
the I think it was a Cowboys beat writer.
Yeah,
who asked the question, and the quote from Jerry Jones was, "We're not in any hurry to get this done," and he quote tweeted it with "LOL."
Yeah, not great looks across the board. And to top it all off, supposedly, again, take this with a grain of salt because it's so far out. We are interested in bringing Shadur Sanders on the team. So, yeah. So just
Hey,
a lot of fun. Oh my! Shout out! Can we take a moment and shout out Arkansas social media
The
team?
trends,
The
the trend
the
setter.
trendsetter.
That was
Job well
funniest-
done.
one-
Job well done.
one of
Let's
the
clap it
funniest
up for them.
stretches I've seen
That
on
was
Twitter.
elite day.
It transcended sports, dude.
Mhm.
I saw like baseball teams were like,
Oh really?
a minor league team posted it was someone squaring up for the bunt, and they popped up the bunt, and then the switch was flying over the left field fence, and they captioned it "dingers only."
That's awesome.
So transcended sports. I cannot believe the Colorado social media team thought that was a good idea.
Yeah.
If you're, you have to be on threat level 5, 10, whatever the highest is, to make sure everything you put out is in tip-top shape, because everything you do will be put under a microscope for memeability.
Yeah.
And how that made it through the cracks is unbelievable.
I'm so glad it did, though. And then, of course, Iowa had to do one, and it was a punt. So,
yeah, punts only.
Punting is winning.
Punts only. I would say that's better than the clip of Deacon Hill last year throwing it about 15 yards over and behind a wide receiver, wide open wide receiver, maybe 10 yards away.
Yeah, not great. Not great across
got
the
a great
board.
one.
10-2 though. Somehow, some way. Well, I know a way. It's called Phil Parker in that defense. But you ready for a give me five, Tanner?
I am.
Let's hop right into it. I believe it's your turn to kick us off. So give me 5 of smells. Tanner, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm glad I have first pick here, because there is one thing that never fails. You know what it is too.
I do.
You do know what it is.
I do.
It never fails. It is the best smelling stuff. I'd be lying if I said I didn't choose to eat here, so I could smell just for the feeling of smelling it when you walk in. And that is, of course, Subway, the best smelling restaurant out there. I mean, between the bread, the cookies, it just smells so good.
Yeah.
It smells so unbelievably good. And I love it. I love it so much. Subway is my number 1 pick.
Yeah, that
smells fantastic.
Easy 1-1.
Fantastic.
You know what? I was thinking about this. There's another sub shop that advertises free smells.
They do.
Little controversy, some are saying.
I know, but Subway's the king of smells.
Subway is definitely king of smells. For my 1-1, I also had Subway, so I'm gonna make a little pivot. I'm gonna go coffee. Love the smell of coffee.
Yep, had it on the list.
Not a huge drinker of coffee, but damn, it smells so good.
Fresh Bruins Brewing.
Oh yeah,
man,
it's the best.
Good stuff.
It is the best. Now for my second pick, there's a lot. There is a lot. I'm gonna go with for my second pick. How do I want to put this? I'm gonna go hamburger and hot dogs on the grill.
Yep. Smell of the grill. Smell of the grill.
Yeah,
it's weird because it's called, obviously, it's called barbecuing, but like barbecue is a whole different type of food.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to make sure there's definitely a
the
difference.
Grill. Meat on the grill is
on the grill
is a damn good.
Yeah.
Oh man, no, I have a couple. I think my number 2 pick I think is pretty easy for me. I'm gonna go fresh clean laundry.
Yep. That's a good one.
Yeah. Smells fantastic. Specifically, when you take it out of the dryer with the dryer sheet, it smells so good. And it's also warm.
Yeah.
And you can somehow smell the warmth in the smell. It's so good. I'm going with fresh laundry. My number 3, I don't know if this is controversial or not. I love the smell, personally. Give me gas.
Yep. I had it on my list.
I love the smell of gas, dude. So good.
Definitely but people either love it or hate it. There's no in between.
I'm on the right side here, but I love the smell of gas.
Yeah, that is a great pick. For my number 3, still, this is kind of a weird. I don't even know how to describe it, but when I say it, you'll know. Like the after rain smell.
Bring on the list. Good pick. Yeah, dude. 100%. But it's a very unique type of rain. It can't be too hard, but it's got to be enough to where you smell it, and then I totally
So it's like a light shower almost, and quick. It has to be quick for some reason.
Yeah,
So that's my number 3 pick. For my number 4 pick, this is kind of a weird one. I'm going to go Home Depot. Yes, sir. Home Depot with my number 4 pick. What even it? I assume it's like their lumber yard.
Dusty.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I have 2 more picks, right? So I have so I can show you my list. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Look at the number 2 on that list. I love the smell of Home Depot, man. The sawdusty smell is so good. Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Damn. I'm gonna go my number 4. I'm gonna go fresh cut grass.
Yep, that was on my list.
Fresh cut grass.
I was going to between that and Home Depot. So yeah.
Yeah, real quick. Are we in the trust tree here?
Yeah.
Because
of course.
you know the game Bean Boozled?
Yeah.
Where you try the different.
Yep.
One I played, I think we might have played. I played with you. The green like bad one you could have got was like grass clippings.
Yeah,
I thought it was good.
Yeah,
I actually liked it.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. That was definitely one you're like, okay, that's that and the toothpaste one.
Yeah,
Being Boozled.
Yeah,
definitely the two.
So
you wanted
fresh cut grass. I think smells very good. The key is though, it's got to be just the grass because sometimes you get it with the lawnmower and like the exhaust of the lawnmower that can get kind of bad. But just the grass,
really Yep.
Oh man. Now, okay, my last one is somewhat specific. It's a specific type of food because it has a very pungent thing on it, but it has other things that maybe make it not as bad because just the main ingredient of this doesn't smell that great, I think. I'm going to go garlic bread.
Oh.
Because just garlic is too aggressive.
Yeah.
But garlic bread,
that's a good pick.
You smell the bread toasting, the cheese melting, and of course the garlic.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go garlic bread as my 5th pick.
That's a good pick. And oh man, there's still a lot out here. Mm-hmm. Oh man.
Oh, he doesn't know.
Dude, I'm down to 3. Oh, I don't know which one.
You have one left, right? One more pick?
Yep, one more. I think I'm gonna go with this one. Bacon.
Yeah.
Bacon. The grease. Yep. Oh, it's the best.
Yep. Yeah. Bacon cooking is really, really good.
Yeah.
Even when it comes out. The thing is with bacon, though, it lingers a lot. You know?
It does linger.
So sometimes that can be tough, but yeah, the smell of bacon cooking does smell.
Yeah.
And usually before you're eating it too, so you're hungry.
Yeah.
And it just smells all better. Yeah.
A little mouth water in action for sure. You got any honorable mentions there, Tanner?
There's some there's some more like fresh baked cookies.
Yeah.
And, those are all whatever. Pretty generic. Obviously you have like candles, and all like the lavender and vanilla stuff.
Yeah.
I had one that just like I think it's better as an honorable mention because specifically foaming soap.
Yes.
Dude, foaming soap smells so much better than regular soap.
Elite. Every bathroom in my house has foaming soap.
So much better.
So much better.
So much better. Smells so much better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't tell you the science behind it. It just smells so much better.
It definitely does. Any more?
Yeah, I mean, I just throw some others. Real quick, actually, this isn't. How are you on new car smell?
I would not put it in my. It's okay.
Okay, I hate it. I
really,
I hate it so much. If we were doing the opposite, Mount Rushmore, or oops, give me 5 of your least favorite smells.
Yeah,
new car smells maybe on there. When I got my new car, I had about 5 air fresheners and a Bath and Body Works like thing in there to get rid of the new car smell.
What was your you're talking the little trees? Is that what you what was your go-to tree?
To be honest, I've just kind of got whatever.
Really?
Yeah,
I was a strictly black ice guy.
Black ice is good. Black ice is good.
But on like during summer months, I changed it to like some pina colada.
Yeah, tropical something.
yeah. Elite. No, I agree. I think it's one of the more overrated smells for sure.
I do not like new car smell. That's my take of the day.
Yeah.
What else you got?
I mean, this is similar to Subway, but just like the bakery smell.
Yeah, of course.
The ocean, big fan of that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Fresh cilantro and mint.
Yeah.
I know
some of them
cilantro
herbs.
Is a touchy subject for some people. Thank God I don't have that.
Thank God it doesn't take like soap for us.
Yeah.
Cilantro is elite stuff.
Unless it tastes like foaming soap, then I don't think it'd be that bad.
Oh,
yeah, there you go. Delicious. There you go. You mentioned vanilla, but for some reason this is more vanilla than any other vanilla extract.
Yeah.
Tastes awful.
Pure vanilla.
Don't try it. But vanilla extract smells phenomenal. This is a spicy take, I think. Bonfires. I know people hate smelling like a bonfire. I kind of enjoy it.
I feel like you with new car smell is me on bonfires. It's very polarizing, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
It's there.
And then just like Old Spice products.
Yeah.
I think all of them smell amazing.
Yep.
And Bath and Body Works. Just
that store. That store smells. That store goes crazy.
Yeah, so sure. Run through your give me 5 of smells one more time for
so I mean 1-1 Subway, the best stuff. Yeah. It smells so good. My number 2 was fresh laundry. The dryer sheets, the warmth, it all comes together. Even the soap, it just smells so good. Then gas. Dude, gas is elite smelling stuff.
Car gasoline, but
yeah, car gasoline.
Yep.
Not farts. I don't think that smells very good, believe it or not.
It is a smell, though.
Yeah, it is a smell. But yeah, car gasoline, that's a better way of putting it. Car gasoline. And then we've got fresh cut grass.
Yep.
But be careful, can't be the exhaust. But it's just the grass. Does smell quite good. And then garlic bread.
Yep, that's good, man. For my 5, I had fresh coffee, hamburgers and hot dogs grilling, After Rain, Home Depot, and bacon.
Yeah, that's pretty great because I mean, on my list, I definitely had fresh brewed coffee. If you didn't pick it, that would have been my second pick. I definitely had Home Depot, and I had there's one else that you said that I had.
After Rain.
Yes, rain.
Yep.
Love the smell of rain. Obviously, that can kind of go hand in hand with like fresh air,
Yeah.
When you've been inside for a while and you step outside and it's a nice day.
Yeah.
Get the crisp air.
Yeah, absolutely.
Smells good.
But yeah, y'all know the drill. Vote on our story. It'll be on Friday. So make sure to cast your vote for who won this week's Give Me 5. But we do have a question to round out the episode. This comes from Paige Riley. Thank you so much. She wants to know, why is rock climbing an Olympic sport?
I wish I had an answer for it. I truthfully have no idea. I mean, there's just so many to choose from. How on earth is that an Olympic sport? How do people enjoy it? I wonder if rock climbing is an Olympic sport because like one guy or girl thought it should be and campaigned way too hard. So then they were just like, just give it to them.
Yeah.
Who the hell cares?
Yeah.
We'll air it at 2 a.m. and wherever, at local time, and it'll all be good.
Yeah.
It'll all be fun and good.
Definitely.
I don't know. How is breakdancing?
I think rock climbing does have a more sport-esque to it than breakdancing.
Yeah,
I'll give them that.
It requires a crap load of strength.
Yes, absolutely. I for breakdancing and rock climbing, I don't consider them sports. I consider them hobbies.
Events, Olympic events.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. So it's
like what do you even is it like a time trial?
I think it's timed. Yeah.
I was gonna say like do they have like judges judging form?
Yeah, I think it is time trial.
It's got to be a time trial, right?
I think it is. I wonder if there's like different types. I believe it or not, I didn't watch any of it. I honestly didn't even know it was an Olympic sport.
Me neither.
But
me neither.
That wraps up our episode of 138 of Crunch Time. We talked about a lot this episode. Winners, losers, as always. What Iowa's going to be looking like going into the season. The GOAT, Tavon Austin, some baseball talk. Talked about the Olympics, of course, and how dominant the U.S. is. Talked about the misery Tanner has been in lately with rough. His Minnesota Vikings. And, of course, wrapped up with Give Me Five.
And also throw in the Mets in there, too, dude. I mentioned the NL teams being red hot, and the Mets are currently losers of 4 straight.
Yeah, it's just a tough time to be Tanner Dislin. And then, of course,
like crap. So,
of course, wrapped up with a question of the episode. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe to the YouTube channel Crunch Time with the N326 Duo. Follow us on X, Instagram, and TikTok at crunchtime_pod. Clock has run out on this episode. We'll see you on the next one on Crunch Time.
Flip.